Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm gonna be giving you part 2 of What If Naruto Found Tobirama's secret base. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. If you're new, yes I indeed have 4 channels: Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince, which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family, guys. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can welcome you personally. And also, turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now, guys. So, the last part that we left off, Naruto Uzumaki, a small child, was making his way towards the Hokage's office. Arriving there, Naruto told Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, about his adventures throughout the village. However, he was supposed to be at the academy, as Hiruzen decided to let it slide and tell Aruka that Naruto was out sick. However, Hiruzen gave Naruto a speech that he believed will help the child in the upcoming future. As for Naruto, who going home that day, Naruto decided to train. However, he was not getting anywhere, as he did not feel himself getting stronger or any big major changes. However, Naruto heard something, as he followed the sound. Arriving towards a strange location, Naruto made his way through, as it opened up to a gigantic cave. Naruto saw a strange glowing rock with strange black markings on it. Naruto pressed it with his hand, as it ended up opening a hatch that he fell right into, bumping his head and knocking himself out. Awakening inside, Naruto came to face with the second Hokage. Naruto was shocked, as he thought the man was a ghost. It took a while for the second to explain what he really was, as he was a chakra construct. He had planted his chakra essence in here inside the seals, so one of his protege or his students could find it, and he would help them. However, he realized that a lot of time had passed. He also sensed that Naruto was the nine-tail holder. However, the things that he heard, he was confused. Why in possibility would Hiruzen let this happen to a child? However, he did not tell Naruto about his status, believing that Hiruzen must have a reason, something must be going on that he did not know of. However, he could sense throughout the village. He decided to take Naruto on as a protege, as the kid had something inside of him that the second Hokage witnessed. So with that, he started to teach Naruto. It took 3 months for him to undo all of the atrocious teaching that Naruto was taught at the academy. He also decided to work on Naruto knowledge gathering as well, as he told him to watch everything around him and pay attention in class, as Naruto did exactly as he was told. Naruto started to notice things that he never noticed before. Mizuki was messing with Naruto's paper by using genjutsu, as Naruto had never known how to undo them before, but now, the teachings from Tobirama. Naruto had went from the last in the class to the middle of the class, in a span of 3 months, and he was still holding back on his academics and everything. The only person that seemed to know this was Shikamaru, as he noticed every time that Naruto was getting better and better. He tried to speak to the blonde about it, but Naruto was already gone by the time he arrived in the scene. As Naruto returned back to training, Tobirama started his elemental training because Naruto had moved faster than he ever expected, the reason being, he taught Naruto the Shadow Clone Jutsu. The Shadow Clone Jutsu helped Naruto tremendously. Naruto was now 10 years old as he got a present from Hiruzen. Hiruzen was ecstatic in his growth, as he took Naruto towards Ichiroku Ramen and gave him a blade. When Tobirama saw the blade, he realized that it was a gift from himself, that he had passed on to the father of Hiruzen, who passed it down to Hiruzen now passed it down to him. Hiruzen really had a lot of trust and faith in Naruto that he would become something great, as Naruto would not let him down. So he returned to his training as 3 more months passed, as Naruto started to work on elemental manipulation. It turns out that he had a wind and water affinity, but Tobirama was a man that gestured on perfection as he wanted Naruto to perfect everything that he taught him. As Naruto kept on training, he also met the Eternal Genin. His name was Kasuke. As they spoke to one another, the Eternal Genin said that he was on a team as he went on several missions with the former Hokage as well. As he saw something inside of Naruto, him and the third was good friends, as the third Hokage spoke a lot about the young Genin. As he could see it right now, this kid was going to become something great. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the place, check it yourself. And also, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs, so the other channels. Yes, I do have 4 channels that I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Links will be on the description. So yeah, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. Okay, mold the chakra in your stomach. Inhale through the nose, then hold it, then exhale all at once. Water style. Violent water waves, said Naruto as he spewed out a jet of water towards a waterfall. Tobirama stood by Naruto's side as he inspected the attack. In his eyes, the boy was already efficient and he would only improve in due time. The second step of water manipulation took Naruto a week to finish, due to his large, massive chakra pool. The third step revolved around him controlling the amount of water inside of his body. Aside from this project, Tobirama had Naruto clones focus on different kinjutsu and battle plans also involving the blade. Tobirama now had good confidence that Naruto was ready for the fourth step of water manipulation. In fact, Naruto was clueless, but there was only 3 steps that were needed to be efficient in water manipulation. The fourth step was something that Tobirama himself had created, because it allowed him to use water affinity without a source nearby. My student, you've come quite far in your training, and now it's time for me to pass on the first part of my legacy. Follow me please, he said. Naruto watches Tobirama step towards the waterfall. As I explained it to you, water is an abundant element of nature. You're able to find it in almost any place that you look. Water ninjutsu divides in 2 types of techniques. The one where you use the water in your body, and the one that you use outside your body. A true master of water manipulation though does not need to rely on any outside source. And I will pass this knowledge on to you so that it may once more benefit the village once again. Naruto nodded as the man took a seat right below the waterfall. The heavy water bombarded his blue armor, but he did not appear discomforted in the slightest. The fourth step to water manipulation is to use the water molecules in the air. The air molecules are composed of mainly 2 chemicals called hydrogen and oxygen. Both these substances together form water molecules, which is an unending source to any water user. Now come sit by my side and focus on your chakra. As Naruto did so, he immediately flinched at the water pressure coming down towards him. Close your eyes and spread your chakra through the lake around you. The key to this exercise is to become one with the very element. As Naruto closed his eyes as he tried to ignore the discomfort. According to his sensei, the water element was unlike any other elements. Its nature was calm and serene, but at any other time it could become fearsome. It took a while, but eventually Naruto got used to the waterfall, bombarding his shoulder and head. In his mind, all he could see was the deep sapphire color of the water he was sitting on. Tobirama sent a glance towards Naruto as he smirked. The boy was ready to receive his legacy now. When Naruto opened his eyes, Tobirama could see himself in Naruto's eyes. Like the water they were sitting on, Naruto needed to be calm and serene, but becoming fearsome when needed. You are now ready, Tobirama said. Time skip. 2 months later. After finishing the ending of the water manipulation training, Tobirama teach Naruto a few more ninjutsu. The water wall technique and the water severing wave technique. The last one was highly offensive as it released a pressurized water capable of slicing through multiple trees. As Naruto learned how to use the water molecules as source, so the hand signs were less and it required less chakra. Also, Naruto clones learned the ninjutsu katas taught by the second Hokage, as the second believed that Naruto could use it with his wind ability. With that thought in mind, he started teaching Naruto the first step of wind manipulation. It was required of him to slice a leaf using only his chakra. Unlike before, Tobirama this time left the clones in charge of wind manipulation. Naruto would be focusing on his physical skills, his Tai and Kinjutsu. The clones allow him to master the positions and the battle strikes. However, Naruto needed to perform the moves like it was second nature to him. Right now, Naruto was using Kinjutsu against Tobirama, as the man had two kunais. Their movements were fast but nowhere as lethal as it would be in a fight. Tobirama was of course more fast and more agile, but he held back his speed to match Naruto's. In time, Tobirama excessively increased his speed as Naruto was gaining more and more. Obviously, he could not expect Naruto to become Jonin level right now. The child was only 10 years old, but he will grow and thus increase his strength and speed. As the both of them clashed on top of the water, as Naruto was focused on his chakra control, including his battle strategy as well. As Naruto was making full use of the katas that he learned, not allowing Tobirama to get his pattern as he moved. He would attack high and attack low, using his sword and his feet. If he learned another style, he could mix it up even more, thus not allowing the opponent to breathe. Truly astounding was his progress, but equally so was the potential that he had. The style that Tobirama taught him revolved around speed and agility and precise hits. There was another style that Tobirama had in mind. It was the complete opposite of his. It focused on empowering one's blow with chakra. Just one punch from Hashirama was able to break ribs if used correctly. While Naruto did not have perfect chakra control like his older brother, it still could be adopted. As the both of them skid away from each other. We're done for today, Naruto. Get some rest. The blonde nodded with a small smile as he moved towards the seat by the margin. Tobirama could see the satisfied look on Naruto's face, as Naruto was no longer losing his concentration. When he just began, Tobirama was using water whips to keep Naruto focused. It might seem cruel, however, over time, Naruto's mind has adapted to situations and start to revolve and get comfortable around certain thoughts, including him settle down and remaining calm in situations even in the midst of battle. There was no much anger, there was just a calm, serene look on his face. As the opponent will find it hard to understand what he would do next because Naruto was under complete control. Naruto picked up the leaf in front of him as he placed it within his hands. Focusing his wind chakra, the leaf was split as Naruto showed it off. As he bowed his head, "I'll see you tomorrow, Sensei," he said. When Naruto left, Tobirama went to the back as he picked up a scroll, as he wondered if he missed anything. This will be Naruto's graduation gift. Tobirama had placed 100% of his knowledge inside the scroll, not only containing his elemental jutsu repertoire, but also his space-time ninjutsu techniques, and even his most darkest creation, the Edo Tensei Jutsu, a technique that allows a person to revive the dead. Hashirama had protested against this at the time. However, back then Tobirama told him that he would do whatever it takes to protect the village. At the time, he believed that it was justified, as long as Konoha survived. But now as he thought about it, he did not wish for Naruto to learn the technique. It was a vile technique, however. Tobirama wanted Naruto to learn how to undo it. The technique was a mixture of knowledge from Mito, technique So. The meaning of reviving the dead was in the Uza, ancient scroll. If someone was to steal those from Konoha and use the technique against Konoha, it would be tremendously bad. That is why he had to teach Naruto how to undo it. Aside from that, it was no time to teach him a thing or two about space-time ninjutsu. Of course, it will take a lot of time for him to grasp the concept, but Naruto will eventually learn through the information that he will be leaving behind in the scroll. Time skip. An entire year has passed since Naruto learned elemental manipulation, and Tobirama could proudly say that Naruto was ready to face the trials of shinobi life. That didn't mean that he had learned everything that a man of the second Hokage caliber could pass on though. On the other hand, Naruto was able to learn every single basic knowledge on what Tobirama had, so that means he could learn everything in due time. By Tobirama estimate, by the time that Naruto advanced to Chunin, he would already learn everything in terms of water manipulation. Regarding space-time ninjutsu, it will take longer though, probably when he reached Jonin. Regarding other skills like taijutsu, shuriken jutsu, and kinjutsu, Naruto was a natural. He learned fluidity and agility from Tobirama, fighting style, and he also learned how to apply chakra to his strikes, similar to what the first had created, as his kinjutsu was quite sharp. Not to mention, over this year, Naruto had developed a move with his wind style, along with his blade. Aside from that, Naruto had been able to slice the cave waterfall in half. After that, Tobirama taught Naruto the only few wind techniques that he knew: wind style, gale palm, Wind Style, Great Wind Breakthrough. It did not take Naruto long to learn those, as wind was his main affinity, despite how much they have trained in water. But Tobirama could no longer extend its wish in Wind Style, because that was much that he knew about it. But the boy was ready. Wind Style, Wind Gale Palm. The real Tobirama watch as the shurikens that Naruto threw was extended by its Wind Style, hitting his replica. As the shadow clone of Tobirama poofed away, another ability that Naruto learned under his tutelage was its battle strategy. At the beginning of the fight, they engaged in taijutsu, however, the Tobirama clone had used superior speed, forcing Naruto to abandon his first plan. As Naruto's mind quickly snapped into the second plan, the boy's mind had grown exponentially. He was now able to prepare and go into battle with more than one outcome, several in fact. Well done, Naruto, he said. You come very far from that brat 3 years ago, who could not even use his chakra properly. I believe that you're ready to face the trials ahead as a shinobi of Konoha. There was a smile on Naruto's face as he bowed, in appreciation for the man's help. A side project was also teaching Naruto how to act on and off missions. Of course, Naruto was still Naruto, hence the big smile in recognition. Thank you, Sensei, said Naruto. Naruto, I believe it's time to also talk to you about something important. Naruto looked towards the man who had taught him a lot these past 3 years. The Senju had believed that Hiruzen would come clean with the boy about what he contained. However, day in and day out nothing happened. Naruto even met with the third on numerous occasions for dinner and lunch. But the subject never came up, otherwise the kid would already ask questions about it. Naruto needed to learn about it, otherwise it might jeopardize whatever mission that he was in. One needed to fully comprehend the situation, and knowing that Naruto had the Kyuubi inside of him would make a huge difference. What is it, Tobirama Sensei? Have you ever heard the word Jinjuliki before? Time skip. Graduation test. Naruto was the first to step inside the classroom. Today was his last day as a student. Tomorrow would be his first day as a shinobi. There was simply no way that he could fail the exam. His sensei said that the academic standards had fallen so much that even a civilian could pass. However, Naruto was not focusing that much today. Inside of him was the one that was responsible for almost destroying Konoha, killing the forts and countless civilians and shinobis. As a little boy, he always craved answers, but now they were provided. Now he understands all the glares, all the whispers, the contempt. He understands it all. He was the Jinjuliki of the most feared and the most powerless Biju to ever exist, the Kyuubi. As a fox was sealed inside of him, and he could use the chakra of the fox as his own to further extend his reservoir. Tobirama also wondered why Hiruzen never told Naruto about it. In the end, he came up with the one conclude answer. The third had lied to him and did so with a purpose. As Naruto questioned to the man why he did not mention this 3 years ago, he told him that it was irrelevant to him learning his legacy. Tobirama also informed him that because of their training, it would become a lot easier for him to control the fox power in the future. Naruto respected the man for training him, but the only thing that Tobirama ever considered irrelevant was training, nothing more. Emotions, according to Tobirama, were irrelevant. That is why the man did not sugarcoat the truth to him. But in actuality, Naruto knew that he should not expect anything less after learning how the man react and deal with things. However, he expected differently from the man that he come to know as Jiji, the caring grandfather persona man that took care of him, brought him to go eat ramen, and gave him gifts. Before meeting Tobirama, Naruto's entire trust circle revolved around the third Hokage. He was the only one that showed kindness to him, and the only one that bothered to help him. The ramen stand owners were there for him, but only when he showed up to eat. As Naruto received the paper test, he remembered Tobirama's lessons on trusting. And so far, Hiruzen Sarutobi's grandfather figure could not be trusted completely. It pained him to admit it, but it was the truth. As Naruto focused on the test, as Naruto even checked for hidden genjutsu, if Mizuki do it before to lower his marks, surely he would try it on the test. Thankfully, his chakra was not tempered with, meaning that this test was a real one. The shuriken and taijutsu test was much easier, as Naruto took advantage of those, just to help his further written test scores. Instead of 6, Naruto went for 8 as he ate all 8 of them, failing 2 on purpose. He even went the entire 30 minutes against Iruka in the taijutsu fight. With everything done, all that remained was ninjutsu. As Naruto stood in front of Iruka and Mizuki as he waited for the final test. Okay Naruto, the last part is ninjutsu. In order to pass, you must show us two perfect clones. As Naruto brought his hand up when he felt his chakra being tempered with, Iruka didn't know what was going on as Mizuki was trying to make Naruto mess up. However, Naruto quickly dispelled it before creating two perfect clones. Congratulations, Naruto. Here's your headband. Where did pride, Iruka said. He didn't need to look at Mizuki to see the outraged look on his face. Naruto did not return back to the classroom, nor did he want to see the others, as he proceeded to Sunshin away from the academy. Once Naruto got back to the cave, he told Tobirama everything, and what Mizuki tried to do. Tobirama really wished that he could leave the cave, and go and teach his Mizuki a lesson. He figured that one single exploding tag would do the trick. Wishes aside, it was finally time for him to talk to the kid about a serious topic. Naruto, regarding this subject, I think you should report it straight to Saru. Saru being the third Hokage nickname, as Naruto had to control himself not to call the man that sometimes, seeing that was all that Tobirama called him. I thought about that, but how can I explain how? I know how to disrupt genjutsu. It's not a topic taught at the academy, said Naruto. Tobirama nodded pleased at Naruto's question, as Naruto was thinking ahead. Indeed, Naruto's ability to dispel genjutsu would come at a surprise Hiruzen. However, there was ways around that. Simply explain to the third that he's been working on is chakra control, and he realized that it was messed up for unknown reason. From what Naruto had told him, Iruka had shown no grudges towards the boy. Indeed, Saru would be suspicious. When reported, simply tell him that your chakra controller was being tampered with for some reason. Do not say Mizuki's name. If I'm correct, you won't have to. As Naruto nodded understanding, if he played his cards right, the Hokage will listen to him without him revealing anything. Now, since you were able to graduate, I have a matter of great importance I need to talk to you about. You have reached an acceptable level of my teachings. There is no more need for me to remain. Naruto's eyes widened at that, but Tobirama crossed his arms. I told you this from the start that my being here has one single purpose. I have already bestowed upon you my legacy, my student, and I'm sure that you will only grow in time. Naruto could not control the tears that suddenly started to leave his eyes. Yeah, the man focused only on training, and his water whips were a pain in the ass to deal with. But for 3 whole years, Tobirama Sensei gave him so much, Naruto just could not fathom not seeing the man grumpy expression ever again. Why would you leave, Tobirama Sensei? You said, it will take time for me to master everything. The man simply snorted. I stated as such, yes, but I also informed that you learned the basic of all my legacy so that you can perform them in time. Now lose those tears or you will know firsthand how truly frightening water ninjutsu can be. As Naruto complied immediately, but he still looked at the man with pleading eyes. As Tobirama sighs, he explained further, that won't mean that you'll be on your own from here on out. Throughout the time that we've been together, I have synthesized all my knowledge in the scroll that you see behind me. The scroll is and will be available to your eyes only. I've placed a blood seal for this very purpose. If anyone ever attempts to open it, the consequences to said person would be quite severe. As Naruto saw the scroll slowly closing, as such Tobirama's essence started to waver, as a smile came on the man's face. Since this is the last time that we shall meet, allow me to say with pride that you were the best student I ever had. Use the skills I've taught you and the ones you've learned to protect Konoha. Naruto still cried, but he returned a smile with gratitude for everything they've been through. As Naruto bowed and promised that he would train hard and be of great service to the Hidden Leaf. As the scroll fully closed, as Naruto listened to the reverting waterfall behind him. Quickly grabbing a heavy scroll, Naruto left to his apartment, but not before he bowed one more time to the man that he come to respect even more than the fourth Hokage. Time skip with the Hokage. Like Tobirama said, Naruto told Hiruzen about the events of the exam, and also he was there to take his photo ID. So let me get this straight, Naruto-kun, when you had your ninjutsu test, you felt like your chakra was being tampered with, and that despite it all you were able to complete the technique to graduate. As Naruto nodded at the conclusion, but he said nothing else, as he kept his composure calm. This is a serious accusation, Naruto-kun. Are you certain of what you felt? I know that you improved greatly since our talk 3 years ago, but you do have a large chakra capacity. As Naruto felt the urge to scream at the man for the very reason why he had a large chakra capacity, but he kept a clear head. I'm sure, JJ, said Naruto. All the techniques I learned at the academy. The clone jutsu was by far the most problematic. I had to work extremely hard, and it's still hard to produce less than 10 copies. I have spent no less than 6 months reducing it one by one until I can produce one clone jutsu. When I performed the technique in front of Mizuki and Iruka Sensei, I felt that tremendous strain once again, as Hiruzen just looked at him. Before he released a smile, okay Naruto, he said, I do not doubt you. I will look into this matter. It filled me with pride to see that you have graduated. No doubt you have worked hard and you've earned that headband. Thank you, Gigi, said Naruto. Just you wait and see. I'll take that hat of yours in no time. Hiruzen laughed warmly as he watched Naruto left the office. Once Naruto was gone, he summoned his Onfu. Tora, assemble your squad and capture Chonin Mizuki. Send him to Ibiki Marino for questioning. There was only two people that could have tampered with Naruto, those being Aruka or Mizuki. Aruka's record was beyond approach as the man would constantly smile whenever reporting about Naruto. Mizuki's record on the other hand was not entirely clean, as Hiruzen feared that messing with Naruto's test score was the least of the worries that was soon to come. Time skip. After delivering the headbands to the Genins, Aruka went home in order to figure out the Genin teams. Things have changed. Naruto was the dead last of the class. Well, that was some time ago, but that has changed now. And it seemed impossible to divide the Genins. Konoha had many types of categories, however, they were in three major categories. And that was frontline fighting, escort, tracking, infiltration, and demolition and interrogation. The Hyuga, the Aburame, and Inuzaka tended to be great in tracking and infiltration, while the Aburame, Yamanaka, and Nara were suited for demolition and interrogation. Hinata Hyuga, Inuzaka Kiba, and Shino Aburame would form a nice team for tracking and infiltration. Yamanaka Ino and Choji Akimichi and Shikamaru Nara would form a nice team for demolition and interrogation. Uchiha Sasuke, Haruna Sakura, and Naruto Uzumaki would form a frontline and escort team. This division took into account that the Rookie of the Year would be on the same team as the dead last. However, Naruto went from the dead last to top 10, so he had no other choice than to mix the three teams up. The other graduates was easier to form, hence why he focused on these three teams in particular. Sasuke became the Rookie of the Year and Sakura was the best kunoichi in the classroom. With that in mind, you looked at the bottom of the classroom, those being Shikamaru Nara and Kiba Nizaka. There was not a single shred of doubt in his mind that Shikamaru was a genius. But the boy was so lazy and he only get the minimum scores to pass. But Kiba grades show more reality, hence why Aruka smiled upon forming the first team. No doubt Kiba and Sasuke would be the frontline fighters while Sakura would be support and long range. Now on to the rest. Ino's skills focus mainly on her clan techniques, meaning that she need muscle to protect her. Choji would mix in nicely because they had known each other since birth. The third member had to be someone that will act like a strategist and provide long range if need be. Shikamaru would fit the third spot, Aruka mused to himself. For some reason, however, he could not move on to the last team. Sure, with Shikamaru, Aruka could formulate the next generation of Inoshikacho that had proved it deadly with the former generations. However, he could also see a good combination between Shino, Ino, and also Choji. The Aburame era was actually the second best male student behind Sasuke. Aruka also worked a lot with Aburame clan members to know how they work on missions. So with that said, Hinata Hyuga, Naruto Uzumaki, and Shikamaru Nara will form the last team. Hinata with the Byakugan and Jayugen will act as a close-range fighter. Naruto showed aptitude in both close-range and mid-range fighting. Shikamaru would fit in perfectly being strategist and providing long-range support. Aruka knew that he would have to argue his case with the Hokage, but he believed the Hokage will understand and see the beneficial of placing these members together. After presenting the paper to the Hokage, Aruka stood by as he just watched a man glass over the names and watch them carefully. I'm curious, why do you think that Shikamaru Nara would fit better on a team with Naruto-kun and Hinata instead of the Yamanaka and Akimichi? It took me quite a while to make this decision, Hokage-sama. If Naruto had the scores from 3 years ago, I would have certainly kept the three of them together. But since Naruto raised his grades and our rule of the year of keeping the rookie with the dead last, I had to think outside the box. Instead of selecting the teams for different missions, I opted to select them to balance each other on the field. Hiruzen listened quietly as he processed all of the information. Aruka's thought process was correct in terms of balance, but Hiruzen wondered if his concept was correct. Normally, the Hokage would require specific teams for specific missions. If a mission required infiltration, he would send a team that was specialized in infiltration. However, many times in the past, he witnessed teams that were ill prepared to handle if the unexpected happened. However, with this turn of events, as he wondered though, glanced now back towards Aruka. I now see the merit of your decision, and I concur. Although our norm is to form specialized units, As per the first Hokage teaching, we have a great number of missions that do not turn out as expected. The team must be well balanced. I'll be sure to explain this to Inoichi Choza and Shikaku-sen. They had stated their intents of having their offsprings form the next generation of Inoshikacho team. Now, I will be assigning the Jonin Sensei for the teams. I appreciate the fine job. Aruka beamed at the praise as he nodded his head in thanks. With that, he was about to leave until the Hokage called him back. I'm afraid that yesterday I received a complaint from Naruto-kun that someone has been tampering with his chakra during his ninjutsu tests. Aruka's eyes widened at that, but he kept on listening. As I'm sure you know, your record is beyond approach, but I kept a solid investigation regarding your fellow teacher Mizuki. We found out that he indeed attempted to ruin Naruto's chance of passing by, casting a subtle, disrupting genjutsu on him. While Naruto was affected by it, he was able to perform the technique and pass. Hiruzen found out a lot that Mizuki wanted to do, but Aruka did not need to know what those were. Aruka looked down towards ground in shame as he did not even notice. Every time Naruto would complain about unfairness and he dismissed it because of Naruto prankster's side. I should have seen Mizuki's actions, Hokage-sama. I'm to blame for this. While it's true that you should have, the consequences were averted by Naruto-kun himself. So no harm was done to him at least. I trust that you will pay close attention from now on. Aruka bowed in acknowledgement before he left the office. Even if Mizuki was an agent from Orochimaru, Aruka should have told what was going on. However, the fact that Orochimaru was after the Kinjutsu scroll troubled Hiruzen. He needed to look into this fast. As he wrote a letter and have it delivered to the one that was running Konoha's spy network, Jiraiya of the Sannin, as Orochimaru had set a spy in their midst to steal the forbidden scroll. As he was up to something. Time skip. At the academy. 2 days passed since the Genin test, and those that passed was now sitting inside. Everyone was busy chatting and telling how excited they were at finally passing, as Naruto remained in his seat wondering about things in general. He wondered if the third did something to Mizuki after his complaint. He wondered who his team will be and who will be his Jonin Sensei. Above all, he wondered about his work ethic. Know that he did not have Tobirama Sensei to tutor him and arrange his work schedule. He did read the scroll last night and he saw the many things that he had to learn. Advanced water ninjutsu, new katas for both taijutsu and kinjutsu style, genjutsu techniques, funjutsu knowledge, and space-time ninjutsu that Naruto could barely understand, outside from the basics that were provided by the second Hokage. For now, he figured that kinjutsu, taijutsu, and water ninjutsu was the main priority. He needed to train his winjutsu as well. However, he could not find much in the library. He could use a couple of genjutsu as well. The rest he could figure out later. Fuinjutsu and space-time ninjutsu was too complex for him right now. As Naruto did not focus that some of his classmates were staring at him, as he knew that people would notice his new uniform choice. There was a reason why he had kept his same clothing the entire time. He needed to blend into the crowd and not draw too much attention to himself. But now that he graduated, he needed to wear something that was practical and that would not hinder him in a mission. He'd focus on light colors so the enemies would not spot his position. Envu style boots, dark blue pants, and a light green shirt. Dark blue covers his forearm, completing his new wardrobe. The sword that he received from the third was strapped to his waist. Said outfit would have cost him a fortune if he did not bother to use the simple transformation to disguise himself. Aruka stepped into the class. Before he could begin though, Sakura lifted her hand. Aruka-sensei, what happened to Mizuki-sensei? She said. As Naruto glanced towards the man, as he realized the third did do something. Mizuki is otherwise occupied, Sakura, and he won't be able to make it. Now listen up, all of you, to everyone here that know where the Konoha had been. Congratulations. All of you work hard to become genuine, and I'm sure that you will only grow from now on. Know that this is just the beginning of your careers, however. The academy goal is to better prepare you for the shinobi life out there. As Naruto had to snort at that, remembering what Tobirama thought of the academy. With that out of the way, you'll be formed a 3-man cell team under a Jonin Sensei. I now shall announce the names of Genin teams. So listen up, Team 1. As Naruto blocked the names out until he would hear his name, it would not be relevant to pay attention right now. Team 7 will be composed of Sasuke Uchiha, Kiba Inuzaka, and Sakura Haruno. Your Jonin Sensei will be Kakashi Hatake. At the mention of that, Ino deflated on her decks while Sakura pumped her fist in the air. Team 8 is composed of Choji Akimichi, Ino Yamanaka, and She no aberami, your Jonin sensei will be. Kuruna UI. Once more Ino complained at having to be in a team with a guy that house bugs. Team 9 is already in operation, so Team 10 is composed of Hinata Hyuga, Nara Shikamaru, and Naruto Uzumaki. Your Jonin sensei is Sir Tobi Asuma. As Naruto thought about that, Shikamaru was always following Maron. But now that he did not need to hold back his skills, there was no problem about that. Of course he would not use elemental ninjutsu for now, but he had taijutsu and kinjutsu to rely on for most missions that he would take. And he had nothing against Hinata, and fighting alongside Hyuga was a plus in his book. He did wonder about the name though of his sensei, Sarutobi, that meant he was related to the third Hokage. Iruka released them all for lunch as he told them to come back in 2 hours to meet their Jonin sensei. As Naruto watched Shikamaru mutter his favorite word, troublesome, before he walked up the stairs, and he stopped in front of Naruto's desk. As troublesome as it is, I think it would be best if we have lunch together, to know a bit about each other, he said. Naruto nodded, sure. What about you, Hinata? Are you in? The girl was sitting right next to him, and she was blushing like a tomato when Naruto addressed her. Throughout the last 3 years of the academy, Hinata always tried to search for Naruto. Sure, she was able to always find him or follow him before that, but now she could not. She always considered herself weak. She used Naruto's determination as a drive to get better. However, now she could not do that. Sure, she was happy for his growth and his change and all. However, he was so different than he was before, and she did not see the same quality that she saw back then. Looking at his eyes, Hinata could no longer see the glow that she was once drawn to. His eyes were more collected and focused like a normal human being. Time skip. Ramen stand. As they left the ramen stand per Naruto's suggestion, Shikamaru found it too troublesome to argue, and Hinata did not mind. Once everyone ordered their respective dishes, Shikamaru turned to Naruto as he studied the blonde for a good 10 seconds. Naruto's improvement at the academy was staggering enough. However, this one in front of him was like a completely different person. His posture had this confidence about it, and you could tell that Naruto was alert to his surroundings even if he was eating his noodles. His clothes change was a huge question mark as well. If it was one activity that Shikamaru loved to do, it was solving mystery, and right now Naruto Uzumaki was one of the biggest ones. He found his first item to focus on. Say, Naruto, what's up with the sword? I had no idea that you use one. As Naruto slurped up his noodles, as he turned towards the Nara ear. It was a gift from the third Hokage after I was able to improve my grades. I've been practicing for 2 years now. I just never brought it to the academy since. I would not need it, said Naruto. Quite impressive how you improve in such a short time. I dare to think that you just pretended to suck at the beginning. Naruto released a long laugh at the comment, if only they knew. I did suck back then for sure. But I had a long talk with the third Hokage back then, and he explained to me if I were going to aim for the title of Hokage, I need to improve, and I need to work hard at the academy so I can at least master the basics. Let me tell you, at first the academy books were like a foreign language to me. I had to purchase a dictionary so I could understand what the book says. And also my chakra capacity. What about your chakra capacity? Hinata asks. Well, at first, when we start learning jutsu, the substitution and the transformation became easy enough with practice. However, for the life of me, I could not perform the clone jutsu. It turns out I had a rather large chakra capacity and not enough control. Because of this, I went to the Hokage for tips, and he taught me how to improve my control. From that point on, with enough hard work, I was able to improve my grades after mastering the technique. Funny, isn't it? Said Naruto. As Shikamaru frowned, wondering why neither of the teachers were pointing this out to Naruto. The academy measured the amount of chakra of the students. He was about to ask Naruto more questions until Naruto opened his mouth. But enough about me. Tell me, how were your scores so low? I found a history book in the library, and it said the Nara clans were known for their high intellect. It was too troublesome. I placed enough effort to pass. I don't have any qualms about showing off, and I don't aspire much in the future to really show off beyond the bare minimum. Wow, the book also said the Nara clan was known for their laziness. I guess it wasn't an exaggeration, said Naruto. Upon hearing that, Hinata released a small giggle, as Shikamaru's forehead showed a small vein at the comment. Even if it was true, no book would ever say something like that. Naruto's laughter afterwards showed that he was just joking. What about you, Hinata? Said Naruto. I read a lot about the Hyuga clan as well. Your Byakugan and Jayugen are quite feared, huh? I can't wait to see it in action. Hinata blushed at the praise while Shikamaru frowned. In this little conversation Naruto showed, a lot of knowledge revolved in the clans in Konoha. He had no doubt that Naruto knew about the rest as well. Well, I'm not that good in Jayugen as my cousin, and my younger sister. As Naruto frowned at that, he didn't realize that Hyuga knew humility. How come? I've seen your moves at the academy. It looked pretty great to me, said Naruto. Shikamaru saw that Hinata had a lack in her confidence. I don't know, she said. Father always berate me in our practices. The both of them looked at her. She looked down in sadness. Well, I still have doubts about that. I know what I saw after all, said Naruto. She smiled at the compliment, however she still had her father's words in her head. As Shikamaru realized that Hinata need to work on her confidence otherwise, there was going to be some trouble. Time skip. Academy. Iruka was proud of them all of them from prominent clans. Even if both Sakura and Naruto were nuts, they were both excellent students and he could only see greatness in their future. As he took a couple of minutes to express his thoughts about everything, giving them a warm goodbye for now. In a couple of minutes, their Jonin senseis will be entering. As Iruka said, little by little, different people start to arrive. 5 minutes later, Naruto glanced up as he saw two people enter the room together. The first was a Kunoichi, and she was extremely beautiful. Light skin, slender built, dark hair, red eyes, and red lipstick. At first, Naruto believed that she was a Uchiha, based on observation alone. The second Jonin was quite taller than her. Brown eyes, short black spiky hair, and a beard. He was also wearing a sash with the fire kanji on the waist. As Naruto could see the resemblance to the third Hokage. So that's our sensei. I am Jonin Ui Kurenai. Teammate here with me. Meet me at training ground 8 in half an hour, she said, as she proceeded to vanish. Jonin Asuma Saratobi. Team 10 here with me. Meet me at the barbecue restaurant in 20 minutes. As Asuma vanished as well, Team 8 and Team 10 got up and left the room, leaving Team 7 to wait for their tardy sensei. Time skip. Barbecue restaurant. Naruto, Shikamaru, and Hinata watched as their sensei ate his fair share of beef. Asuma offered them lunch, but they already eat before being with him. In the end, they settled for some tea. Alright then, now how about you all talk to me a little bit about yourself? I have a grasp of your skills from the academy file, but I wish to know you better. Let's start with you, Shikamaru. Shikamaru wanted to say the bare minimum, so he wanted to know exactly what the man needed to know. What do you wish to know exactly, Asuma-sensei? Well, your likes, dislikes, dream for the future, and anything else you wish to share. Troublesome. Well, as you know, I'm Naru Shikamaru. I like watching clouds, playing shogi. I dislike excessive work and being nagged by my troublesome mother. My dream is to retire as a chunin, find a wife that is not so troublesome, and settle down. Asuma could not help but chuckle a bit upon hearing the boy's dream. Just like his father, Asuma mused as Naruto turned towards him surprised. No drive whatsoever he saw in the boy. If one thing for sure though, Naruto would not allow him to slack off. If anything, he wanted to use a water whip on him right now, to whip him in shape. Okay, you can go next, Naruto. Well, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like ramen, training, shuriken jutsu, and kenjutsu. I dislike the 3 minutes it takes to cook ramen. My dream for the future is to rise to the ranks, gather enough experience, and become a Hokage, just like the second. Asuma nodded with a smile on his face hearing that. He heard from his father how the boy aspired for the Hokage position and how much he talked about the second. Shikamaru on the other hand remembered Naruto was worshipping the fourth some years ago, but now he had switched to the second all of a sudden. A nice dream you got there, he said. Alright, Hinata. She nodded. My name is Hinata Hyuga, she said. I like pressing flowers, zentai, and cinnamon rolls. I dislike those who look down on others, and my dream is to unite the Hyuga clan. Asuma nodded as he lighted a new cigarette. Naruto already counted 3 since he entered the restaurant. He supposed that all members of the Saratobi clan enjoy having a smoke here or there, as Asuma released a pent-up smoke as Team 10 coughed like crazy, earned a smirk from their sensei. Okay, now that we got to know each other, all of you are dismissed for the day. You're to meet me at training ground 10 for one more before you can be called a genin. Shikamaru shook his head. Troublesome, he said. Other tests? What do you mean, said Naruto. We are not genins right now. The academy test only had one purpose. It served to show which of you had the potential to become genins. It is up to the Jonin sensei to determine if you receive the title or not. The test will begin at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. The genins nodded while Asuma paid for his tab. After that, they left the restaurant as each of them went on their separate ways. The sun started to descend as Naruto reached the apartment. Tomorrow will be his first test and he could not wait. He could not show any sort of elemental manipulation. as he wouldn't have any explanation to how he knew those techniques. Tomorrow after he passed, it wouldn't be a problem because he would have access to the official library. But for now, I guess it's only taijutsu, kinjutsu, and shuriken jutsu, he thought. Not to mention abusing the substitution jutsu. Time skip. When the next day started, Naruto was already inside the famous cave that he spent 3 years learning under Tobirama sensei. After leaving the barbecue shack yesterday, Naruto went straight home in order to check the scroll. As the listing of water ninjutsu and types: long range, short range, defensive, offensive, supplementary. For now, Naruto had a good arsenal of techniques. He knew 1 defensive technique, 3 offensive 1, and 1 supplementary. As he smirked at the memory of learning the water prison technique, the technique use was limited though. You had to use it in close range and capture the enemy by surprise. Of course, the second taught him ways of using the technique more efficiently. A clone of himself could hide and wait for the enemy to pass by. After looking at the list of water ninjutsu, Naruto picked another one to train. He had to meet up with his team for the test in 3 hours. As Naruto picked out water style, Touring technique. The jutsu consists of gathering water in a spiral in one hand. The exercise he remembered that was similar to this was him swirling the water with his hand. Now it was a matter of applying the same concept before, manifesting the water in his hand. Kneeling on top of the lake, Naruto closed his eyes as he started to focus on the molecule that was in the air. In no time, the water molecules started to appear like raindrops, hovering around him. Once he was comfortable with the amount, Naruto smiled at the scene in front of him. It always amazed him to see the cave fill with the water droplets. It made him miss his sensei even more. As Naruto went through the hand signs at a modern pace, as he could feel his chakra molding into the technique. Water style. Touring technique. The technique took too long to gather though, as Naruto realized that this will be useless in a battle. Just like how Tobirama told him he had to apply himself first. After all, if you did it the wrong way, simply repeating yourself would show the same result. As Naruto tried to analyze exactly what went wrong, and try it again before even moving on. As Naruto realized this was his first B rank, with using water molecules in the air, he tried to use a technique with the water that was coming from the waterfall. It was much easier and faster in this attempt. Now that he had that down, his clones could certainly focus on the technique now, and get it done while he can focus on the physical aspect of his training. As Naruto stretched before he went through the katas that he learned from Tobirama sensei, he would mix it up with the first Kage style. Truly, no one knew about Tobirama style except for the third Kage and Kasuke. As soon as he punched the wall and made a hole in it, Naruto heard footsteps. 2 days ago, he would have freaked out at the possibility of someone else seeing the second Kage here training him. But now that was irrelevant and it saddened him. Oh, it's you, Naruto-kun. What are you doing here? As Naruto saw old man Kasuke approaching him with a traditional smile on his face. Oh, Kasuke, said Naruto. I found this cave some time ago when I was searching for waterfalls. I found that's a nice place to train, so I came here every day now. As the man nodded, a smile on his face. Well, Naruto-kun, you did find a place in the village history. Naruto gave him a puzzled look. This cave happened to be our ex-team, Sekuna Kage, favorite spot. I remember coming here close to 40 years ago when he taught me a few of his techniques. As Kasuke saw the hole in the wall from a well-placed taijutsu strike, not something that he would expect from a just graduating student. You are sure dedicated, Naruto-kun. I can see that. As Naruto smiled faintly at that. Well, thanks. I do want to become Hokage, you know. I'm just doing some exercises before I have to meet with my team for another test. Ah, yes, I remember. So who's your Jonin sensei? Sir Tobi Asuma is his name. I don't know much about him except he looked like the third Kage, said Naruto as he returned to his practice in taijutsu and shuriken throwing. Tobirama always thought him the best way to train was to picture yourself against imaginary opponents, as he could place certain scenarios in his head and adapt to those scenarios. As Kasuke seemed to be engrossed in nostalgic memory, as Naruto trained until it was time to meet up with his team. Sorry, Kasuke, said Naruto, but I need to get going. The elder looked at him and nodded with his usual smile. Good luck out there, Naruto, he said, and never forget what a shinobi main base of strength is. Naruto understood that very clearly, as he heard the same thing from the third and second. As he said goodbye and sprinted away from the location. When he arrived, he was surprised to see that everyone was already there, but he couldn't have been late. It was barely past 8. As Naruto checked out the many trees and tree logs as well, they could be utilized while he was fighting. Asuma was quietly talking with Shikamaru when he looked up towards the latecomer. About time you appear, Naruto, he said. I was already thinking that something happened. Forgive me, Asuma-sensei, said Naruto. It's just that every day I create a routine training of sorts. Both his teammates looked at him. They were being tested right now and Naruto wastes energy training. Plus, I actually thought that Shikamaru would be the last one here, so I thought I would have more time. As Shikamaru snorted and crossed his arms, his mother was the one to nag him out so early, as Hinata giggled at her teammates' antics as Asuma smirked. As he of course knew a lot about who wore the pants inside the Nara residence, and of course, it was not Shikaku, who was Shikamaru's father. Alright, now that everyone is here, the test is simple. You three shall face me in battle. And you must hit me 3 times. Also, even if the chance of a genin touching a jonin is slim to none. If one of you only complete the task, you will not pass. And I will not say anything else. So then, let us begin, he said, not giving them a time to say anything. You have 3 hours. Begin now. As soon as he said so, he charged toward the closest, who was Shikamaru and Hinata. As the both of them were surprised, Hinata and Shikamaru immediately fell to the ground. However, when Asuma kicked Naruto, poof, he was kicking a log. Granted, he did not put enough strength in it, or did he move at his fastest, but he was surprised that Naruto was able to react. He had seen chonins take longer to use the substitution, and yet Naruto was so fast already with it. What the hell, Sensei, said Naruto from behind the tree. I never said I would give you 3 time to prepare, or that I would not attack. Nonetheless, I guess it would be fair since you guys have yet to undertake any missions. That being said, you have 10 minutes to formulate a suitable strategy. When the time is up, I'll be coming after all of you, so you better be ready. Shikamaru, Hinata, he said. Troublesome, said Shikamaru as Hinata looked a bit fearful as they got knocked down. In no time though, they vanished. Asuma smirked as he lit up a cigarette. Well, this ought to be interesting, he thought. But guys, it'll be in episode right here. If you want to see the next person, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And don't forget to stay in tune for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. If you're new, yes, I have 4 channels. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Prince, guys, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. So yeah, without further ado, what is the way jump right into this? What am I saying? Let's get the hell out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.